and move us on to François Cyr. You know that he works for the National Capital Commission, and he is the Senior Greenbelt Manager. And as such, he's very influential in this whole interesting debate.
Well, I would like to thank Erwin for inviting us today, and also to the organizing committee from Adam of the Greenspace Alliance of Canada's Capital. It's always good to talk about the Greenbelt to people that are interested in the Greenbelt, and I know you all are, and I can recognize some faces that have been part of the Greenbelt Master Plan Review. Today I'm going to present you stuff from the Greenbelt Master Plan Review. So this is nothing new for you. It's time for you to take a break if you have been part of it, but you can be part of this presentation if you like. About the mix-up between the NCC and the NCC, I would just like to say to Gary that we really like the NCC, and I can also tell him that there's no mix-up in French. In French, we're the CCN, and they are the CNC. So, so there's no problem. No problem for me here. Also, just one note: I'm the only panelist that is not an expert in biology or ecology this morning. So you may find this okay, I thought you were. Just to let you know that this presentation might be more simpler than the others. I won't go in too much in terms of the big terms, the big terminology. But I will try my best to communicate to you the importance of the Greenbelt for Ottawa and also for the Ottawa Valley. When you were looking at the map of Gary, like you could see that we're a very small piece in the overall puzzle. So let's put it this way, the Greenbelt were about that big, the City of Ottawa is about the size of the table, and the Ottawa Valley, it's about the size of this room. And we're all connected to each other. We all have to work together in order to make it happen in the future. Next slide, please. So if I go back to the Greenbelt Master Plan Review, it took us about a year and a half to come up with a new vision. That's the new vision of the Greenbelt. Greenbelt will forever protect natural system, agriculture, and opportunities for outdoor recreation and education that will inspire Canadians and contribute to the sustainability and quality of life in Canada's capital region. I think your group is most interested in the last 4 words that you see in the first line. Forever protect natural system. What I like about this, compared to where we were 5 years ago when we started the planning process, we were not sure if it would be protected forever. Now it's clearly stated in this vision exercise. Next slide, please. What we think is going to happen with the new master plan is that the Greenbelt would be more relevant to the capital than ever. It's strengthened by clearer identity and roles. We have lots of roles before. We try to simplify everything. What's important this morning is that it's connected to the capital ecosystem network, and that's what I'm going to talk to you more in this presentation. Identified core natural areas, we identified natural links, and also buffer between both of these. That was the system that was established back in '96. Then in 2007, We look at a study done by DDM, which is a Quebec firm that was involved in the Gatineau Park master plan. And basically in this study, we look at the ecosystem, valued ecosystem and habitats, what we know now as the core natural areas. So this were part of this study, that the threats were identified, a bit like Gary was talking earlier. Also the condition of these ecosystem and habitats were identified. While we're doing the cumulative effect study of the impact of a transportation project on the Greenbelt, we asked the consultant to look more in terms of the core natural area, the linkage, the possible linkage area for restoration. So ACOM did provide us more information on the linkage. Then, as part of the master plan review, we did a review of all this information and see what would be possible to do in the future. What you see from on this slide, it's what was in the 1996 Greenbelt Master Plan. This idea of connectivity corridors started in this master plan. I think Erwin is going to use this in his presentation. And this how it evolved in 2013 now in the new master plan with the Greenbelt here, with connection Marlborough Forest to the west and also to the east from Merriam to La Rose Forest. Next, please. So that's the larger area showing the concept, like I told you, Marlborough Forest, South March-Charlton, and the idea is to connect these, to connect on the other side to Gatineau. Something very similar to what the NCC Gary's group are doing. The only difference, it's very micro compared to what they do. If we look now at the next slide, land designation. So basically our natural network, it's two main components. I told you there are core natural areas. There's 10 core natural areas in the Greenbelt, and there's natural links that are the links between these core natural areas. Right now, as per the new Greenbelt Master Plan, 40% of the Greenbelt is core natural areas, and 21% is link. So that means that 61% of the Greenbelt is now natural areas. That's the way it's designated. Next, please. So that's the land designation map, what you see in the dark green. All these core natural areas, we've got about 10. I'm going to go in detail with the different sectors soon, but basically you've got Shirley's Bay here, Mare Bleu here, Stony Swamp, Penny Forest, Pine Grove, Greens Creek, and different areas. So the idea is, it's hard to see today with this type of green. These are the links between these core natural areas. What we're trying to do here, and it's not easy, it's really to link all these core natural areas from west to east, to trying to, I don't know what's the word to use now. We'll call them links. That's very simple for us. So, and when it's outside the Greenbelt, we call them corridors. So, so let's have a look at each of the sector. How am I doing on time? Good?
Well, you've got about 12 minutes left.
Oh, that's great. Okay, it's faster than I thought. Okay, Shirley's Bay. So Shirley's Bay, there's two core natural areas. Shirley's Bay Connaught Range sector with DND here, and Shirley's Bay Crystal Bay sector. So this core natural area, a very strong core natural area, very strong link. So in terms of quality, Shirley's Bay is doing okay. There's room for connectivity at the north and to the west. The only thing, there's a border here, which is the 417. Next slide, please. So we move south to Stony Swamp. Shirley's Bay was on top. Stony Swamp is right here. Stony Swamp is the most diverse area in the Greenbelt in terms of flora, and we even have species at risk, like the least bittern is right in here. Problem in Stony Swamp, there's several problems. It's hard to make corridors, connections to the west. It's all developed here. So that's a big challenge. To the east, well, you got 416 here. Here it's mainly agricultural land. That's what we're gonna look at on the next slide, but this is hard connection. So, and here you got Bell's Corners, so how you deal with this? And if you go to Stony Swamp, that's the busiest place in the Greenbelt in terms of trails. There's the most number of trails. That's where we get the most number of visits, and closing a trail here wouldn't be that easy. So what you see here in yellow, it's called a special study area, and basically these are the two quarries, Tomlinson and Lafarge. And the idea here is just to identify that when these close in the future, we might be interested in doing something here to increase either the core natural area or increase the link. Next, please. So now we move, so this was Stony Swamp. Now we move to the east. What you see in beige, these are agricultural land. The main core natural area here is Penny Forest, right beside the Queen Sportsplex. It's not that big. And you got the Black Rapids Creek here. So here there's difficulty in terms of trying to have linkage. So an idea that was in the 96 plan, and we want to continue that and even increase it, it's to have a link along Black Rapids Creek through the agricultural land, through CFIA land, and to connect gradually towards Stony Swamp. That won't be an easy one because these are big cash crop lands, and that means increasing within an area used by a farmer. The good thing about it is that this part, that's the NCC. The farmer is a lessee from us, so once the lease comes to an end, we would be able to deal with that. But also in the meantime, we did plant trees in this area, work to increase the riparian habitat here. So that's for this part. Up here you got Bruce Pit. Bruce Pit, you know about the off-leash area, but also there's conservation land around this conservation area. Another challenge is to connect on the other side. This is Rideau River. So what we're trying to do here, this is also NCC land, agricultural land in beige. What we're trying to do is to use these creeks and increase the width of the riparian habitat to connect on the airport side. Next, please. International Airport. So that's Rideau River here. Back in 1996, there was a conceptual link identified south of the airport, but it was not clearly delineated. What happened during this master plan process, we had a workshop with the city people, Nick was there, and the airport people trying to find the best place to have a link south of the airport. And basically that's what we came up with, considering the airport expansion in the future, and also all the development approved by the city here and on this side as well. So what you end up here, it's some kind of a 200, 250 meter wide link. That's what's left there. It's not all the perfect land. It's not all natural land. Yes, there's going to need restoration in the future. Challenge here is to connect to Pine Grove. Right now, it's not bad in terms of connection. But someday, you will have a third airstrip here in this location, just about, along Leitrim. And this, with the airstrip and the area you need to protect the overshoot up front, this is going to alter this area for sure. So as part of the negotiation we had with the airport, the NCC, the National Capital Commission, had with the airport, as part of the agreement we said, well, a link will need to be protected in the future. If it's not here anymore, you will have to work on something here in order to connect from this thing to Pine Grove. This was the missing link when you look at the overall map from the 96 plan to now. This is for us, it's it's a great achievement to have been able to negotiate it. It's not everything is not solved. We'll need to do restoration, that kind of stuff, but for us, there's a big step right there. Then we'll move to Pine Grove. Next slide, please. So Pine Grove, big core natural area, what you see in the dark green. This was a plantation forest done by Emer and the NCC. It's mainly red pine. Big threat here, it's invasive species. The understory of the forest, it's covered by buckthorn. It's not the only place in the Greenbelt, but this is major in this area. This is the major threat here. One thing also that we worked with the city was on the Leicester wetland, which is part of the airport and the Pine Grove area. So that's been protected in the new plan. That's an addition compared to the old plan. As you can see from Pine Grove, I'm moving towards 417 here. So there's lots of links, mostly forested area, and the rest is agricultural land. Next, please. Moving towards Merriam, so that's the 417. That's Merriam core natural area in dark green. Merriam, it's a wetland, an internationally significant wetland. That's where we bought most of the land in the 90s and the beginning of 2000 was in the Merriam area to try to achieve this. There's still land to be added. That's what you see in the blue. And basically this was the limit of the provincially significant wetland or area of natural and scientific interest. Merriam, there's no problem in terms of sustainability. Everything's going well there. Problem is a bit with the links, the connection towards Chapel Hill here. Most of the creeks are connecting to Greens Creek. That's Mud Creek here connecting to Greens Creek, so we're not in bad shape at Merriam. Next. So Greens Creek, so final CNA. So that's the Greens Creek core natural area. Here you got the Chapel Hill North Forest. That's the area that is owned by the City of Ottawa. So here there's problem of connectivity to this area. Greens Creek, there's no problem connecting to Ottawa River. Main difficulty here is the fragmentation with Blackburn Hamlet bypass, and also there's lots of projects in the future that might increase that fragmentation, like bus rapid transit, like park and ride development, and so it's always trying to balance the development of the surrounding communities and crossing in the Greenbelt. Again, you have a special study area right in the middle here, which is the Lafarge Quarry. So the idea again, if it's closed someday, that could be part of the link between Greens Creek and Chapel Hill. Then we can move to the conclusion. Yeah. So what we're trying to do, it's an integrated natural network. As I told you earlier, what you got right now compared to the old plan, it's an increased protected natural areas. We come from 50% of the Greenbelt, half of the Greenbelt. Now it's 61% that is either core natural area or natural link. We believe that there's more connectivity. We believe that this is going to bring more biodiversity, but we got lots of work to do. We're going to concentrate our efforts on restoration of habitats, restoration of links. We're going to spend more money on that in the future. We're already doing that. What we appreciate a lot is that there's partners, there's people in the community that start this project. Somebody was talking about the sand dune earlier. Penny Forest before was all the sand dune, before plantations were put there. And there's a group called Biodiversity Conservation that started this sand dune project, trying to establish a sand dune there. And these people are very knowledgeable. There's PhD. They know what they're doing. And they're working with the surrounding community. What we're doing, we'll let them do what they think should be done. We're trying to help them. We help them in terms of increasing the sand dune area. We cut about 200 trees last year in order to increase that sand dune area. So now you have a little sand dune habitat within Piney Forest. So we're trying to maintain both, but we're not saying we have to cut the whole forest in order to get that sand dune. Another good example of partnership is with RVCA. Yeah, RVCA doing a great job in terms of planting trees along riparian habitats, along creeks, and also on agricultural land. And we look forward for partnership. Thank you.
Merci, François. In the interests of time, I think one question only, and I see Saul's hands up. I knew it was coming.
François, I hate to put you on the spot, but how do you reconcile more connectivity with the NCC board's approval of additional 25 road projects, either widening or extending roads, cutting through the Greenbelt, which should obviously increase the fragmentation? It just doesn't seem to balance between the theory and the actual decision-making at the NCC. And last decision by the board in April.
So I understand you're talking about the cumulative effect study on the, okay. So there were about 30 projects in the transportation master plan, in the city transportation master plan. What the NCC decided, like there was a submission to extend Oakside Road to Stony Swamp, and there was a definitive no from the NCC, and that's what triggered the idea to have a joint study of all the transportation projects from the transportation master plan. And so the city and the NCC worked together for about, I think, a year and a half with a consultant. And what came up is like Saul was saying, it's out of 30 projects, 5 receive a red light, about less than 10 receive a green light, and the remainder got some kind of a yellow light, needing more EA and studies in order to proceed. There are roads in the Greenbelt. There will be roads in the Greenbelt. This is a fact. I'm not saying that we agree to have all new roads all the time. Most of the new project will be a widening of existing roads. Most of the new roads going to be won't be approved.